You already know this guy. Bald head, wavy hair, brown eyes, and very fat torso. He is one of the founding fathers of America, the legendary Ben Franklin. If you want to be more accurate, we could just call him Benjamin Franklin, but for the purpose of the video, and because I can't draw or write that fast, we'll call him Ben, or Franklin. Let's start today's biography very quickly, and yes, I did my hair. January 17th of 1706. This is when he was born. He was born in the colonies of where today it will be Pennsylvania, Philadelphia too. He is, according to Wikipedia, an American polymath, where he is both, actually not just both, several ways one way or another, a writer, a scientist, an inventor, a statesman, a diplomat, a printer, a publisher, and a political philosopher. Among the most influential intellectuals of his time, Franklin was one of the founding fathers of the United States and a drafter and signer of the Declaration of Independence and the first Postmaster General. So you can see that he's the jack of all trades and that he is a polymath. But is this really true? Well, I'll get to that later. But first of all, just remember that this is the sweet old man we're talking about. Since then, he has been deeply ingrained into the minds of Americans. In fact, most Americans literally sometimes always pass by him whenever they pass by the founding fathers' place of Philadelphia, such as the Franklin Institute, the Franklin Universities. We literally name, the USA people, Americans name schools and their children after Benjamin Franklin. He's even on a $100 bill, which is the highest form of one paper unit currency that we exist of the United States of America, US dollars right now. And I think Benjamin Franklin would be really freaked out by this anyway. But he has done lots of freaky things too. But let's get this started off. This is Franklin's birthplace as the highest resolution I could ever get. This is on Milk Street of Pennsylvania. As mentioned earlier, this is where he was born, January 17th of 1706. And not much is known about his early life as a child. Mostly so we know that he went to grammar school, but he only attended there for 2 years, after which dropping out. Then he went to work as an apprentice. This is the highest resolution I could get. Very sorry for the low quality of my photos. He worked as an apprentice for his eldest brother, mainly because the family was in debt. And fun fact, the eldest brother's name was James. It is during this time that he goes ahead and learns the trade of working at the print shop, how to go ahead and print stuff, and to create all these newspapers together for pretty fast things. And as a result, he goes ahead and cannot get his own material printed, mainly because his brother is an egotist and does not want his obnoxious little brother to go ahead and take any credit of his work. And as a result, Franklin goes ahead and silently mails James Franklin his own Benjamin Franklin's own materials under the pseudonym Silent Dogood. This was his pen name, and he pretended to be a woman. This got published in the newspaper several times until he sheepishly went ahead and revealed that he was Silent Dogood, at which point his brother went ahead and started treating him a little bit more mean. After his brother went ahead and started treating him a bit more mean, and as a result of having secretly extending his apprenticeship without any more pay, he finally runs away to Philadelphia. In fact, to get his first job as a printmaker, he goes ahead and prints out his own fake resume. But he does run away to Philadelphia, and it was this time where he just starts to get into all the nitty-gritty stuff of the printing business. What does he do here? Well, he decides to have his own printing business, and as a result, the Pennsylvania Gazette is born. And with the Pennsylvania Gazette born, well, we have several things that we could go ahead and talk about. The Pennsylvania Gazette itself was full of material that was mostly true, but also included hoaxes, other things and other fake stuff that our boy Benjamin Franklin himself has went ahead and added in by himself. So what do we get out of this? Well, not much else. Later on, though, he goes ahead and publishes Poor Richard's Almanac, allegedly the first almanac printed in the colonies, which later turns out to be false. It's in this almanac that we get a bunch of information, such as, well, just several things. In fact, he mostly talks about the calendars, he talks about Roman stuff, Jewish rabbis, and other things that are probably going to interest the public. This goes on for several years. In fact, he starts publishing them in 1733. He finishes publishing the last version in 1758. What happened in between those times is, in 1731, he went ahead and apparently established the first public library in America, allegedly publishes it all by himself, according to his autobiography. which I'm reading right now, but I won't get into that later. I'll probably make a second version of this biography after I read the autobiography he writes. But this is apparently, allegedly, the first public library in America, and pretty much was built entirely and solely on the whims and the willpower of our Benjamin Franklin. Most likely, though, it was probably a joint cooperation where Benjamin Franklin just wrote that he was the only one inside his own book. It might be of an obnoxious little kid in like a TV series created by like CBS or ABC, CBS, right? Sheldon. Ah, my childhood. He even revolutionizes the post office, though this is more likely to be true. He probably actually did this by himself. In between those, he even allegedly went ahead and established, or at least helped establish, that's for sure, the first fire department in Philadelphia. He also helps to go ahead and found the Pennsylvania Hospital, and he even goes ahead and founds the Pennsylvania, the American Philosophical Society, where they go ahead and discuss a bunch of philosophical things that whatever philosophical philosophers are interested in at the time. Speaking of the post office, he himself goes ahead and starts to revolutionize the way he goes ahead and sends out post mails, like how long it is to go from one place to another, and how more it can be efficient as, how much more efficient it can be, and such and such. So that's pretty much how the postmaster of Philadelphia does, and he eventually becomes deputy postmaster general. It was during this time too that he goes ahead and founds the Academy of Philadelphia. And with this Academy of Philadelphia in mind, he goes ahead and recruits the biggest minds that he could go ahead and fill in this institution. Philadelphia. The Oracle of Delphi. And after formally retiring from printmaking in like 1948 to the 1950s, he goes ahead and starts creating a bunch of these scientific inventions. He's credited to be creating the wooden fins. Well, nowadays we make them out of plastic. He is also alleged to have created bifocals, the flexible catheter, the lightning rod, and the Franklin stove. Now, one thing that I probably should mention is that all of these have actually existed long before Franklin was probably even born. Sure, wooden fins, bifocals, lightning rods, Franklin stoves, they may have contained his name and his credit, but in reality, they were different names too. He probably didn't invent bifocals, probably made his own version and said, which the public had no idea what it was, and then presented it as like an invention instead of more or less like a discovery. Wooden fins he allegedly created in 1717 when he was out swimming, but this is probably never really caught on. He tried to make wooden feet fins, but that didn't really work at all. He was able to make wooden hand fins. The flexible catheter, he goes ahead and created that several times over and over. Also, I'm pretty sure that existed long before him. People have certainly thought of those ideas. And the lightning rod experiment, the famous experiment that you know, the one with lightning and a kite and a metal key that goes ahead and collects electricity as like a battery. Well, that was probably just more or less a thought experiment. He probably never actually did that. And apparently someone else already did it long before he did. But he probably did invent the lightning rod in America. Whereas the Franklin stove is just like an efficient stove that he just found someone else, finding someone else to go ahead and did it, and he copied the designs and built it himself and introduced it in America. Now, allegedly, he's never actually patented any of these inventions because I want to go ahead and give to the public without getting any profit myself. When in reality, probably if he actually did patent them, he was asking himself to be sued, mainly because someone else has already invented it long before him. Remember earlier when I said that there was this device that he created to measure how long it takes to go ahead and go ahead and deliver mail? Well, this is the device I was talking about. Looks cool, right? Well, yeah, it is pretty cool. And this is when the American Revolution starts to apparently happen. Benjamin Franklin himself has a son. His name was William Franklin. I should probably stop using magenta. His son is named William Franklin, and he became a loyalist to Britain, which went ahead and got him disowned by Benjamin Franklin himself. And Benjamin Franklin himself probably could have actually been working for the British government this entire time, because the only information that he's ever given to the founding fathers and Americans were the information that the British wanted them to know, like the only ones that they permitted the Americans to know. With this in mind, he went ahead and helped the Americans win the American Revolution, even being on the committee of the founding fathers, being the oldest, in fact. This resulted in him going ahead and signing the Treaty of Paris. Whereas in that Treaty of Paris, he went ahead and published it. He's the only one who has a signature on all 4 founding documents ever. And it was during this time that he went to Paris to go ahead and be the ambassador for America there and to gain their allyship and their navy to go ahead and combat the English during the American Revolution, which they do, and they win. And as a result, Franklin decides to stay in Paris a little bit longer, being a great womanizer and captivating the entirety of France to literally his own figure. The fact that there was this American here and was portrayed, he tried to portray Americans as like a brave people who could do pretty much everything and could do anything too, that went ahead and wooed the French women a lot. Later, he dies at the age of 84 years old at Philadelphia of Pennsylvania, USA, where to this day it has become like a monument where you throw pennies and other coins and such onto the monument. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Hunter Sean. I hope to see you guys soon. And so, until next time, Shihana, peace. Bye-bye. Electrifying. Zap.